Healing is a process, not an event. It's something a lot of people really have to take into their matrix of who they are. You were on a show I did yesterday on Wolf Spirit Radio talking about dreams, and we had some really good discussions about dreams there. You wish to share with people here on Revolution Radio your laughing dream you had?
The what in dream?
Your laughing dream.
Oh, yes, I will. About a year ago is when I had gone through what I call the neck of the bottle, which was releasing my fears. And shortly thereafter, for several weeks, every morning, I would end up waking myself laughing out loud, just giggling. And I realized that I was just releasing all of this built-up anger and frustration and pain that I had been experiencing. And at the time, I felt I was never going to get through that process. So it was a tremendous relief for me when I experienced waking up every morning laughing and giggling. Yes.
Truly, I mean, there are many people that have had that experience. I, too, have had that experience, and it's so many different situations where I'll just wake up laughing because the universe just told you a joke that was just so perfect that it went from the infinite to the finite. And the universe does do jokes. It does teach us through opposition and humor. And humor is something we can all share now. Here's an example. The president of Egypt, Mohammed Morsi, arrested a comedian that was on a television station. He'd be equivalent to their Jon Stewart. And he was arrested because he made fun of the man's hat and his English accent. That's petty. And that's the type of things we should identify as true oppression, that take away from the humor of this world because he made fun of a man's funny hat. So we're at this great precipice that comedy can help change us, can take away the power of the Rothschilds. You know, here's the thing. I challenge everyone here to come up with something different than the standard truther way. Let's come up with some Rothschild jokes, some truther jokes that truly poke fun at the situation of the big multi-headed hydra in front of us. Because laughter is one of our greatest tools and can be a weapon too. A weapon that removes the power, makes that Rothschild naked in the street. So I challenge everyone to come up with a joke, to come up with a concept that truly brings that humor to the situation. So let's talk about dreams for a second, Diane. Did you dream last night?
I may have. Several days ago, you suggested that I do the salt, sage, and silver bags specifically for sleeping, but because I have an issue with my tailbone area. And that has been helping me greatly. What I found now for 2 nights is that once I finally do get to sleep, I am out. So I'm doing some deep sleeping, and at the moment I'm not remembering anything when I wake up.
And it's because you're regenerating your circadian rhythm.
Yes.
It could take 3 to 5 days of solid, hard sleeping to get yourself really back on track of regulating your rhythms.
Yes. So anyhow, that's what I'm in the middle of right now is redirecting the Kundalini energies, which evidently has been messing my whole system up for a while. So I'm focusing on that.
Think of it, there's just not enough energy to keep the system fully empowered. So what that means is you have to take from the muscle memory. The way I describe it is when you have dreams and it comes for you time to wake up, it has to be stored somewhere. Many people are under the impression that your dreams are stored in your mind. Actually, they're not. Your body stores your dreams because it's part of your dreaming body. When you dream, your body is a part of it. So that disconnect in education takes us to the understanding our awake mind also stores information in our body, specific pains or post-traumatic stress issues. it puts them into a part of your body so your mind doesn't have to think about it. So when you go into dream time, you're sharing that dream energy with the traumatic situation. And that's why it's so vitally important to rebalance your body so that your kundalini energies can push out some of these energies from the awake mind so the dreaming mind has more spots to download into your body. You know, as we get further and further into dreaming, we understand that our hearts are creating our dreams at the same time, and the heart determines where we put these traumatic situations that block us from dreaming.
Well, I certainly can relate to the cellular memory thing, because there have been certain times in my process that I've been going through in the last couple of years where all of a sudden a certain memory it stands out right in front of me. I probably haven't thought of it in 10, 15, 20 years. And it's just like a glaring nightmare in front of me. Mm-hmm. And I came to realize several years ago that truly is cellular memory. Mm-hmm. So those of us who have gone or are going through a toxic time physically, I take it easy on myself and on my body and remind my body that, yes, I understand it's still holding cellular memories that have not been released yet. So in that sense, I'm learning to love and respect my body because my body has been retaining so much cellular memory that does need to be released.
It's absolutely true. So cellular memory, I'm going to expand on that for a moment. Cellular memory also has your DNA memory in it. There are skills that we are just naturally really good at. You know, those people that find themselves woodworkers or office workers or whatever it is, that's a cellular memory, a DNA memory that's passed on. As we begin to reshape ourselves out of puberty and into adults, we go through this process where we shape our cellular memory also. And this is where many people get the biggest problems of their life, where they create dis-ease, D-I-S space E-A-S-E, instead of disease. Example, where your neck connects to your shoulders, there are certain types of people that put all their stress there. And it's like if you would go to give them a neck rub, it would be like cement. Or someplace on their legs, or someplace in their calves, or someplace in their shoulders or lower back. That is your cellular memory. That's where you're downloading all of this excess negative energy your brain doesn't want to deal with because it needs to have a clear operating system. I commonly refer to this in computer terms. It's like clearing out your temp files and cookies. That's something that people on this radio station will know very well, because sometimes you can't get into the radio station if you haven't cleaned out your temp files or cookies or your history, because you build up this junk that your computer just holds. And that's the same thing with your cellular memory. You build up junk. The silver, salt, and sage in combination allows you to dump out the junk into the salt on the spot that you put it on. And then as you dump it out, you kind of realize some other spot may fill it back up again. And that's why it could take several days to get back into a state where you've literally cleaned out all of your temp files and cookies. And then as you go back into your daily life, if you're not aware that your cellular memory is still programmed that way, it will generate more junk stuff and then put them into the chaotic order of your body. So when we begin that healing process, we're clearing out our temp files, dumping our cookies, and understand that massaging yourself is one of the greatest ways about understanding where you're putting your stress in your body. So frequently do people rub their arms or their shoulders or the neck instinctively because the pain is there, pains that could create headaches or back pain. All of those things can be taken care of with simple massage, deep hot baths, steamed, swimming, exercise. Now, if you're a severe case with injury, and that injury requires you to be immobile and you can't go out and do all those things, you can be aware of your energy and bring your consciousness to the wound as well as to the other parts of your body that are overcompensating for the wound. So it could put you in a situation where you could use just your hand on your right thigh and your other hand over your kidney And you then do it to the opposite side because you're trying to connect the energy of your organs to the energies of your legs so you can process the energy that's stored inside your thighs, because the thighs store tremendous amounts of fluid, tremendous amounts of toxin until you're ready to let it go. And as you let that go, you understand that you're letting go cellular memory at the same time.
If we have a block in a certain area of our body, eventually these built up both physical and etheric toxins just migrate around the whole body. And we end up getting crippled physically and spiritually at that point. So
right.
Any blocks that we can clear from ourselves and maintain a good energy level, that is the whole secret to the flowing with the good energies that are coming in for us too.
You're absolutely right. And the next layer there is if you ignore those areas that are in pain, that are having issues, it invites parasites in. Some of the parasites have no intention other than just to suck on your energy. There's no sentience to them. And then there are ones that do have sentience, and those become physical attachments, and those attachments become habit patterns in our lives.
And it illustrates again that once we are weakened, then we lay ourselves wide open for all kinds of additional illnesses.
Absolutely. And in your situation, you're trying to clean out not only temporary files and cookies, you're trying to defrag your hard drive at the same time. And you know this process. You know, you move back to where you are to reconnect to your family, and now you're realizing that you've done your healing, and you're going to determine where you're going to go next. So my advice for you is to keep doing the salt and silver and sage on your tailbone and your neck, and then start adding some really hot foot baths. You could just get something, whatever, just buy a regular little foot bath from the drugstore and begin to use your cedar or your sage or any of the other things that you're smudging your home with, and put those in the water, and start to understand that your feet are a flushing mechanism for energy too. You could sit in a chair with the salt pack on your tailbone and just bring energy out of your crown chakra into your third eye, into your throat, into your heart, into your sacral chakra and your solar plexus, and into your tailbone where the salt pack is, and then concentrate on that tailbone with the salt pack. And the type of energy that you're going to add there is this swirling energy. And this swirling energy is going to, how do I put this, create a swirling pattern in your energy of your root chakra, and you'll be able to flush energy out of your left leg and right leg. So it'll literally be like a flushing mechanism to get a lot of this stagnant energy or ashy energy out of your body.
So I should visualize it flowing out through my feet is what you're suggesting?
Correct.
Okay, great. And I do have a foot bath. I need to pull it out and use it.
There's all sorts of things that you can put in the foot bath. Let's say you like you said earlier, there's these memories that pop up, and that cellular memory is forcing you to endure this memory that goes through your mind. Let's say you notice that happened in you one day, and you truly want to heal that moment. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit in your chair, get your foot bath, put your whatever essential oils or essence or plants, whatever you're going to put in there. And you're going to bring the energies out of your crown into your root, circulate as much energy in there, and then you're going to say, I'm releasing that cellular memory. I am clearing that from my body. It goes out of my crown, into my sacral, into my root, and out through my feet. And you can literally expel and delete some of these cellular memories that no longer serve you. As you begin to do this, you'll understand that one memory is attached to another memory, and one memory is attached to another, into a network of memories. And you understand that a particular cellular memory was triggered because something psychically happened to you in dream time or in the physical world to bring up that cellular memory to determine if it needs to be released at that moment or if it needs to be learned from.
Words of the wise are coming from you today in all kinds of fashions.
That's right. I have been helping people heal and get energy out for 20 years. If it isn't from the reading, it's from the hands-on healing I do with Reiki or the shows that I do. each person gets something different out of it. And I can speak to people in layers, and many people begin to understand that. You know, there's even more ways that we can heal ourselves and understand our cellular memory. I've spoken frequently that our dreaming body literally lives inside our organs. Where your stomach to your lower intestine, your upper and lower intestine begins, truly where your dreaming body is. It is between your root chakra, sacral chakra, and just a little bit above. So if you know where the chakra systems are, right there in that spot is where your dreaming body exists. It doesn't exist in your head. When you begin to enter a dream state, the energy of your mind and your third eye and your crown go into your heart. And then your heart takes all this energy and goes into the solar plexus. And then from the body. At that point is where literally the human body turns off and there's what's known as paralysis. Your body needs to be in paralysis or you'll be like a dog shaking its arm in dreams and not being able to fully get into dream time. As that energy comes and you go more and more into dream time, the lucid dreaming state that everybody are trying to get is when all of the upper energies of the chakras are in the sacral chakra building up this wave pattern before they go into the root. Right as that time the energies from the root is entering the sacral is entering the sacral chakra is where you have the actual physical mental moment to say, I want to lucid dream. That is how you battle the programming, the autopilot. That is where you bring all of the consciousness of all of your energy chakras plus your into your root. At that point, your root chakra will blossom like a red energy, opening up petals of flowers, open over and over. One petal leads into another, one flower leads into another, another into another, until it creates a prism of energy, just as if a crystal would reflect the light into a prism. That is the beginning of your dream state. At the very beginning of your dream state is where you can shape how you lucid dream and how you make the rules of remembering. You have total control over your cellular memory at that point. It is the time where the programmer comes in and says, the pain in my back needs to be healed. The pain in my feet needs to be healed. The fact that I can't make a relationship with a friend or a lover, that needs to be healed. And as you tell that to the body, you release all of this other mental stress attached with the mind, linked with all of these energies. And then you go deep into the root chakra, and the root chakra comes up off your body like a flower. It's got a stem, and that flower opens up, and then you have dream travel, where you enter dream time, dream worlds. That's truly where any of the lucid dreamers want to go. This is where you look to your cellular memory for your dream time maps, your dream time compass that allows you to see the dream time lighthouses that are out there, so you may project your dream time body to those spots and experience those spots with all of your mind.
One thing that comes to mind when you were talking about naturally being free enough to, let's say, do lucid dreaming or astral traveling or whatever, I hear very often where certain people are forcing or trying to force this process by mechanically willing themselves to do certain things. And I think the process that you're talking about is entirely different, because you're inferring, as I understand it, a more natural process of how these things evolve within us as we allow them to happen also, but in addition to being properly prepared to experience them. Am I correct?
You are correct, and I actually described the actual process of literally, how do I say it, to enter the dreaming body. If you're a consciousness explorer, what I said of the crown into the third eye into the throat, throat into the heart, unify the heart, unify the solar plexus, down and down and down. That's literally what you do to enter your dreaming state. It's the commonality all of us share.
And so we would start from the crown chakra at during the beginning of dream time and just float down.
During that time that you're saying, I want to be in charge of my dreams, I want to lucid dream, I want to experience more.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
the
Okay.
time that you lay down. As you reach into that sacral chakra, up there is where your body turns off. And that's where a lot of people experience the snapping sound, the ripping noise, because that's their third eye empowering their actual energy body of their dreaming body and emotional body to have the energy to project out. Like I said, that flower stem that comes out of your stomach and raises into a flower, the petals open up. That literally is the unifying of all of your chakras. That is the mechanics of energy of dream time. And from that point, you go out of that flower.
That is just phenomenal to hear. I've never heard you describe it so simply as what you're saying today. So there must be a reason for us to be hearing it today, too.
There is.
Yes, many of us are getting ready and prepared to become more active dream timers, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And knowing this mechanical process of energy, and I mean mechanical because there are many times cellular memory teaches us the wrong way to enter our dream time, and that's why a lot of people don't remember their dreams. Now, your dreaming body may not have enough energy to leave the body, but it can dream other things into the dreaming body. So in your situation, you don't have enough energy to create the actual stem of the flower to open up. You don't have the energy to do that. But what your energy body still does, it has its radio, it has its internal dream TV, and it can tune in to people that are in its soul family or spirits that are related to its soul family to be teachers. And that's where a lot of people experience this school effect, where it feels like you're in a school being educated or you're having these talky dreams. If you're having lots of dreams that are just conversation over and over again with little image attached to them, that is because you're bringing in all this broadcasting of dream energy from the dream world of 7,333,000,000 people out there, each in separate dream times. And you're looking for your vibratory soul family, your dream soul family, the dream time societies that teach you how to grow that stem to a flower, to get out of your body, to go into those places of the dream world that help empower you with wonderful images and visions of harmony and light, or whatever it is that you're looking for, to bring it back to that flower. That flower closes up naturally. The stem retreats back into the sacral chakra, and then the chakras begin to return from root to sacral, sacral to solar, solar to heart, heart to throat, throat to third eye to crown, recharging all of your energy body. And at that point, the words that the programmer said to the body before the dream time, you get a second chance to reprogram yourself even more. So all of the vision of dream time is there. So you don't have a separation of two worlds. So when you wake up, you could have 2, 3, or 4 hours of perfect recall of everything of the vision.
You know what I'm hearing you also say in a certain manner, that this is the process of how we can correctly reclaim our natural energies, commonly known as the chakra system.
Absolutely.
I think there are a certain number of us who have been questioning the validity of the chakra system as we hear about it these days. And I think you just gave us the key as to how we can properly work within ourselves, clear ourselves up, and all else will come naturally to us for the natural etheric energies that we have a right to be experiencing.
You are a wonderful soul that was able to understand that message and relay it as you interpreted and understood it.
The other thing I want to mention, just in the last 2 days now since I've had my salt sage packet at my tailbone, I am not having the constriction, tightness of pain. I definitely have noticed the difference yesterday already.
Mm-hmm. And what that's doing is helping your body literally take away the enforcement of the cellular memory on those pain areas, which stops cyclical swelling.
Yes, I definitely am feeling the difference. So anyone who has a lower spine issue, they might definitely want to try doing a bag of kosher salt or Himalayan. Add some natural sage to it and some silver. For women, I think the silver tends to be jewelry more often than not. The coin is great too. And try it. I just left mine on now 24/7 on my tailbone. It's great.